At healthystuff.org, we've tested thousands of consumer products over the years, and one of the categories of products we get the most questions about is canned food. We're concerned, and we know people are concerned about the leaching of chemicals from canned coatings into the food. That's why we undertook this study, to actually look at the types of coatings that are being used in cans.
We tested 192 samples of canned goods across the country, products we purchased in 19 states at major U.S. retailers.
We actually took the cans into our lab at the Ecology Center, opened them, washed them, and processed them, and actually looked at the coating types used in the cans.
We bring it into the lab. We scrape a sample of the lining off of the can. We add the sample to the stage of the infrared spectrometer. And then we run the sample, which allows us to determine the chemical composition of the can lining.
So the worst of the national brands that we tested included Campbell's, General Mills, and Del Monte.
Almost 2/3 of all the cans we tested contained BPA epoxy resins. And as for all the other coatings, we found quite a variety. We found a number of polyester resins, styrene acrylic resins, polyvinyl chloride copolymers, and a plant-based resin called oleo resin. People have been concerned about BPA in canned foods for many years, but what about these other canned food coatings that we identified? Should we be worried about the other can coatings? The short answer is possibly. We don't really know very well. We have very little information about the chemicals, residual chemicals that are in many of these alternative coatings and whether they migrate into food in substantial amounts.
The ongoing presence of BPA in canned foods is presenting a hazard to low-income populations, to workers, to pregnant women, and to children.
So with today's report, we're calling on big retailers to develop comprehensive plans of action, to develop timeframes to eliminate BPA in canned foods, but also to ensure that replacement chemicals are safe.
If you are concerned about chemicals leaching into your food from canned food coatings, these are some things that you can do. And the first is to buy and eat fresh food when you can. Frozen food, food that's in aseptic packaging, not cans, those are alternatives of shelf-stable food. And keep in mind the general rule that the less processing a food has gone through and the fewer packaging materials it has touched, the less likely it is to have chemical contaminants.
What we'd like the national brands to do is as follows, and that is eliminate BPA from canned foods and safely replace it. Secondly, we'd like them to be more transparent about their timelines for getting BPA out of canned foods, and also share their safety data about the BPA alternatives that they're using.